This is a warning to anyone and everyone that plans to pick up or is about to play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Do not play it unless you want to be glued to your couch, to your bed for days on end. I don't know what sleep is anymore. Help me. Hey yo, what is good y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So I've been gone for a good minute and there are two excuses as to why that is. The first reason is because when I actually did plan to start recording, my allergies started to kill me because it is allergy season. I don't have the Rona, it's just allergies. I promise. The second reason is actually quite obvious. I could not get off of Pokemon Legends for 10 days straight. It has been such a long time since I've been fixated on a game like that I literally could not put it down. I had a problem, and I need to talk about the game now. At this point in time, I have done pretty much everything there is to do in Pokemon Legends Arceus besides the menial side quests that are available because they just give little bonuses here and there, but nothing that's really all that crucial to your primary playthrough. So this right here is pretty much just going to be a lot of my quick immediate afterthoughts on everything that I've experienced in the game so far. This is also primarily going to be a lot of gushing, so if you're not looking for that, you may want to go elsewhere because I'm actually going to be very happy throughout the duration of this video. At the time of this recording, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be titling this video yet or anything like that because originally when I scripted this was supposed to be a halfway marker video. At one point when I was actually able to put the game down for more than 5 minutes, I actually threw this together and wanted to record. And then I ate and went back to playing Pokemon Legends. And then I ended up playing it to damn near 100% completion. So now that seems kind of pointless. But because I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry, I'm going to be working on a lot of videos in between this and the review. So at the very least, let's think of this as a pre-review of sorts. In this, we're going to be going over a lot of my general good feelings toward the game. However, I'm saving a good chunk of those for the actual review, as well as my negatives, which may actually surprise you. In a way, you can also consider this a spoiler-free review, because I'm not going to be talking about the story or anything too far along in the game. I'm just talking about my general feeling towards what Pokemon Legends is as a game. I'll save the spoilery stuff for the actual review. It gives you guys a little bit of time to actually finish the game. So why don't we kick back, relax, grab a Coke, a big old piece of pie, and maybe a fat ass ham, and talk about why it's very dangerous for you to play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Dangerous in a good way. Nobody's actually in danger, I promise. So we're going to kick things off by talking about the most obvious fact that this game can get wildly addicting. When I say that walking away from the game was actually a problem for me, I was not exaggerating. The moment, the very split second that I figured out that I had the power to start doing whatever I wanted in that overworld, that was pretty much it for me. Running around in this region just catching Pokemon and exploring the world was so much fun. It was so easy to get lost in its wonders that I literally did a lot of the time. It was almost like I was a little kid again and I was actually going outside and exploring these big random forests, running around, learning, and coming to understand everything that's around. Now I know that it can be considered very annoying to compare this game in any way, shape, or form to Breath of the Wild, but I think as one of Nintendo's biggest open world games since Breath of the Wild, it's only fair. But here's my thing. Open world games are normally extremely overwhelming for me, which is why I don't play a lot of them. I could not deal with Skyrim for more than 5 minutes. However, there are some games that I make an exception for and I really just tune into that kind of thing, like Breath of the Wild. And what I'm getting at here is that I haven't really felt that type of fun since Breath of the Wild. Now, do not get it twisted. There have been plenty of phenomenal games that have come out between now and then. However, not a lot of them can have a grip on me like that. So I was really shocked to discover that this game right here had me in a literal vice grip. Now, getting back on the topic of Pokemon in of itself, it was extremely fun to just go around and catch Pokemon, even if you've caught them before. Between the new entries mechanic for the Pokédex, as well as the seamless catching and battling that goes on in this overworld, it was so easy for me to get hooked. And that's what's crazy. Usually you would find that kind of thing repetitive. You don't go into the other games and try to catch multitudes of one Pokemon unless you are shiny hunting or something. In this case, you do it because you want to fill out the entries for the Pokédex so that you can finish a side quest, or just because you want to fill out the Pokédex to get the shiny charm, or simply because you want levels for your Pokemon. And it can happen so quick that you just keep doing it. You just keep going until you can get those last couple of experience points that you need for your Pokemon. For somebody that's grown up on Pokemon, the fact that you can just catch a Pokemon without having to have another Pokemon out to battle it is crazy to me. And now I'm really thinking about it, and it's just so astounding and incredible how much just cutting out that one little man and making it optional can change the entirety of a mechanic to make it more entertaining. Truly, it's so interesting to me. And it's not like we haven't had anything like this before. Obviously, we've done it with Pokemon Let's Go as well as Pokemon Go, but there it was way more repetitive. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that transitioning into battle and actually catching the Pokemon here is so much quicker than it's ever been, and I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. I will definitely be talking more about this in depth during the review, but we gotta move on because I could literally talk about this for hours. Another thing that's extremely addicting, that crafting mechanic. Mwah! We are now able to go around in this big ass open field and collect all the materials that we need to make Pokeballs and potions ourselves. Sure enough, it would be extremely easy to just buy all of the equipment that you need. You can buy Pokeballs, you can buy potions, you can buy full heals, whatever. But why waste your money on that when you can just craft all of it yourself? When you can just reset that open world and go around collecting all of the iron, all of the apricots, everything you need. As soon as I had a way to get around that world quicker, which wasn't that far into the game by the way, it was a wrap, dude. I was going around hitting every single tree, every single rock, reporting every single Pokemon, then resetting, coming back, and doing it all over again, just so I didn't have to spend any money, because why would I do that? Just saying, bro, if you ran out of Pokeballs or potions for some reason, that is completely your fault. You have literally no excuse. Now, moving on from that, because again, there's a lot of that I want to talk about in the official review, I really want to talk about something that really makes this game important for us, and it's simply the fact that this game brings a lot of changes that the overall series has needed for such a long time. And it's funny because we've already talked about two big things, which is the seamless transitions into battle and the crafting mechanic, but we do not even stop there. I'm telling you right now, I'm bringing up this exact sentence when we do the review, but I'm gonna say it here just so you know. There are so many new or tweaked mechanics that show that Pokemon games as a whole can evolve in a truly incredible way if they follow this blueprint that they set for themselves. I also have another in-between video that you're definitely going to want to see when it comes to this very specific topic, but we'll come back to that when we come back to that. For starters, the way that Pokemon learn moves in this game is an absolute must for the future. When you sit down and truly think about it logically, there is absolutely no reason that when a Pokemon learns a new move, it completely forgets the previous move that was taught in its place. That doesn't make any sense. When you learn a new skill, let's say baking, you don't forget how to drive a car, you don't forget how to turn on a TV, you don't forget how to do your laundry, and you don't forget how to open a door. That doesn't make any sense. Logically speaking, this is the most sense a mechanic has made for Pokemon in a very long time. Being able to seamlessly switch between moves that I want on my team in that moment is such a beautiful thing, and I don't know how we've gone so long without this. And frankly, it's so freaking weird that we went from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where we were back to super limited TMs, to going into this game where nothing is limited at all. I know this is gonna sound super weird, but it almost sounds like that was intentional. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but whatever. You guys know me, we could talk about that all day. Let's move on to the next thing. I also think it's a beautiful thing how Pokemon evolve in this generation. See, one thing that Pokemon does a really bad job of explaining to the player is simply the fact that Pokemon don't learn the exact same moves as their evolutions. Obviously, there are a good few exceptions, like Gengar, for example, who you can evolve whenever you want, but there's a lot of Pokemon that if you evolve them too early, you might be missing out on a lot of potentially really good moves. If that's something that you're aware of already, then I'm sure you already know how annoying it is to try and keep your Pokemon from evolving without having an Everstone on deck. This mechanic right here completely rids the necessity of an Everstone as a whole, and I love that so much with my whole being. Currently, a friend of mine is doing a run of Pokemon Legends Arceus without evolving any of their Pokemon. And honestly, I love that. I love that they're actually able to do that, because in literally any other Pokemon game, if you have a full team of 6, they all level up at the same time and you don't have a choice but to let some of them evolve, because frankly, pressing B that many times after every single level up would get extremely annoying. Having the option to allow them to evolve when we're ready to evolve them is a prime feature that I have fallen so head over heels for that I can't imagine the series moving forward without. We will be talking about this again very soon, and I am so sorry. Now, we will be touching up on this one again as well, but I will say the Pokédex is a little bit of a mixed bag. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to bring this feature back if they were to bring it back in future games. However, I will say this. It really does make our investment in catching Pokemon that much deeper. This time around, the only way to truly complete the Pokédex is to fill out the 10 requests for each specific Pokemon, and every single one of those requests is different based on the Pokemon. You can catch a bunch of them, you can watch them do certain moves, you can watch them die to certain moves, you can feed them, whatever. The long and short of it is, you don't get to understand everything about that Pokemon until you've spent an unruly amount of time with it. And you know what? I'm actually super here for it. It's good to feel like more than just a Pokemon trainer. Now I feel like a true Pokemon researcher, doing everything in my power to learn about every single Pokemon that lives in this region. Spending individual time with each Pokemon has really made me appreciate a lot of Pokemon that I really honestly would not have looked at otherwise. There's so many good Pokemon just chilling there that I really honestly would have never thought to use. As of right now, I'm currently doing a second playthrough strictly for review footage. However, during this playthrough, my plan is to use Pokemon that I only got a little bit of a glimpse of during my original playthrough or during the post-game. This is simply because I feel like there are Pokemon there that I feel would have been really cool to have on my main team during my primary playthrough. Not that I was unhappy with my main endgame team by any means. However, now that I've already experienced this new world and all these new mechanics, I feel like it's time to dive in with a completely new team, some completely fresh blood. And quite frankly, I think that might help change my experience for the better. Moving aside from that, another thing that I appreciate is simply the fact that side quests actually exist. Now here's the thing, turn-based RPGs are my favorite thing ever. I will play them for days on end. I just love that genre. I don't know what it is, but I love it, which is why I was so attracted to Pokemon when I was younger. The one thing that I've noticed with Pokemon is the fact that it was lacking side quests in the mainline games for some reason, and I could never understand why that's a thing. Oh, so what? It's okay to copy and paste 100 of the exact same NPC all over the world, but it's not okay for them to actually give you things for actually helping them? Why have this? Why has that been a thing for so long? I don't understand. Whatever, better late than never. We have actual side quests and they actually help you this time around. And that is a beautiful thing. Please don't ever get rid of side quests. They are so important. They are so important. More on that later. There's one last big thing that I really need to talk about. That thing is simply the fact that Pokemon Legends simplifies a lot of things, but it does it in a very good way. Yet again, we're kind of missing a lot of mechanics that we usually have in mainline Pokemon games. However, I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. Especially for the case of Pokemon Legends Arceus, where because of the setting, there are some things that wouldn't make sense, especially because they're not really all that necessary. As an example to start, we don't have abilities or held items. And it's weird because the last time we were missing those things was in Pokemon Let's Go. But aside from that one game, every other game up till this point has had those mechanics. So as of right now, it is back down to basic battles and strategy. Or I guess in Pokemon's case, mostly strength and speed. Now on one hand, I do think that sometimes it really would have been nice to have abilities or held items, especially on some of these new Hisuian form Pokemon, so that when you're running into these big bads in the overworld and things like that, you have some kind of upper ground. But then on the other hand, I actually just sit down and think to myself for a second and realize, yeah, there's really no need to have competitive style mechanics for a game that has no competitive aspects whatsoever. Again, they could have been there, but it didn't really hurt all that much that they weren't there. You follow? And I certainly wasn't missing them when I realized that if I had those things, the NPCs would have those things too, and then it would be a huge problem. So yeah, I think we're chillin'. So at the very least, until we get to the mainline series again, what we got here is totally fine. And as another example, we don't really have EVs and IVs. They're both pretty much replaced with these things called effort levels. You can raise these effort levels by giving your Pokemon specific items. That way, instead of breeding and praying that your Pokemon is born good enough, you can just make the Pokemon good enough by grinding out a little bit, which makes a hell of a lot more sense in my personal opinion. I mean, come on, what the hell happens when I want to breed a competitive Vespiquen, but I end up breeding a male Combee with perfect IVs? What am I gonna do with that, huh? Yeah, of all the strict competitive mechanics, I think that that's one that we could definitely do without forever. Long story short, I have no doubt in my mind that these mechanics were removed simply for the sake of simplicity to accommodate for the newer players, which is something I realize that I've said a very lot this time around. Sorry about that, but you get what I'm getting at. However, this is one of the few times where I think it is more than okay, considering the fact that you're also accommodating to new players by giving them so many new mechanics that they're not used to. That completely makes up for it, so I'm really not mad about it. Legends Arceus had an excuse. Let's Go did not. But anyhow, that just about wraps it up here, and I do say wrap up, but in reality, I'm cutting myself off because I need to stop talking about this. I promise you guys that you guys are going to hear everything you want to hear and need to hear when it comes to the review. That's going to be out soon enough, just give it some time. But I think that this is at least a decent holdover. No, if not for you, at least for me. There's so many things that I want to go over, like the story, the new agile and strong style mechanic, and the music. There's so much that I want to talk about, but I really have to save that for the bigger review. You guys don't even know how in depth we're going to go with that, and I'm really looking forward to it. But give me some time to actually write it out and get my feelings out proper so that when the video is out, it's looking good and we've covered everything. I don't want to miss anything like I did in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because I did miss a couple of things and I do feel kind of bad about that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. I'm passing the mic to you guys. And usually I tell you guys to tell me everything in the comment section below, which you're still more than welcome to do by all means. However, there's something specific that I want to know for this video right here. Question of the day, if you will. what was your favorite mechanic from Pokemon Legends? Or if you're still currently playing it, or if you haven't played it yet but you've seen the game, what is your favorite mechanic so far? I want to know what you guys think about that in the comment section below, because you know that I'm always down there with you guys. More than likely, I'll tell you guys my favorite mechanic down there too. So let me know what you guys think. But for now, I'm cutting it off. I got a lot of videos to work on. You guys have no idea. But with that, I'm out, yo. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm gonna get the hell about. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!